Welcome back to the engine room. Today we're replacing my garage door. Existing is an antique, thin, uninsulated wooden garage door. It's got the classic springs up top, this funky 2x6 situation that I've kind of had it with. So all the rollers are pretty worn out, everything's loud, everything's a little wobbly, and I wanted to do a replacement opener, but this was kind of a mess, so I figured let's do everything in one shot. So you can kind of see how this opener is a little funky, and always has been. And I never understood why until I started looking into garage door openers. And every garage door opener is only made for a 7-foot garage door. And this is an 8-foot garage door. And to make any garage door opener work with an 8-foot garage door, you need an extension piece. And it's an add-on kit. So I ended up going with the Genie. This is a 3053 model. It's got the, comes with the programmed remotes, the wall button for the inside, the keypad, and then it's wireless. It works with Wi-Fi also, which is kind of nice. We'll see. I probably will never use that, but whatever. This is 3/4 horsepower. It's quick. I think it's 7 inches per second. So I forget how long. I think it's like 12 seconds to open the door. The existing is a 1/2 horsepower. The chain's all worn out, stretched. I tightened it up a couple times. I lubricated it, but it's past its service life. So that's gonna go. So I have this, and I have the extension piece for the 8-foot door because this is an 8-footer. So I'll link everything. I'll put everything in on the screen. But yeah, so this was Amazon. This came in a day. The extension piece is coming today, so this came yesterday. So 2 days for the extension piece, 1 day for this. In stock, like $200-something. It was on sale. The garage door, on the other hand, came from Lowe's. So this is a Wayne Dalton 9100 series, I believe. Yeah, it's a Wayne Dalton 9100 series. So it's R9 value. It's insulated, and that was one of the bigger things that I wanted to do. So I have light coming through down there. I got cracks and crevices all over the place. So instead of resealing this garage door, I wanted to get an insulated one, make it right, make it level, make it straight, and then get the good seals for the outside. I'll have a fresh seal on the bottom, and then this will be rock solid. So I ordered this in May. It's now August. It was supposed to come in July, and we're almost a month late. So kind of frustrating. I've called them a million times. Apparently they make these to order in Ohio, but I don't know. So either way, this thing finally came. Took forever. I haven't unboxed anything yet. Some guy showed up in some like rinky minivan to drop it off because apparently the order gets placed through Lowe's, then they get made to order, then they get shipped to a local distributor, and then the local distributor is just some random garage door company, and then they're the ones who drop it off. So, whatever. He gave me all the pieces. Everything looks decent. So, the only thing that's a little odd is that it came with these springs. And I asked the guy about it. I'm like, because it's supposed to have the torsion bar on the top. It's part of the order. It's part of this door from Lowe's and how it's sold. So, I'm probably going to go after them for the month lateness, just for some money back. And then if it's, I don't know. I'm going to open things up and we'll take it from there. Hopefully nothing's damaged, but yeah, so we'll get rolling on this. I'm gonna unbox everything now. We'll make sure that all the parts are there, and then I'll start to demo the old, put in the new, and then we'll work on getting the new opener up. I'm gonna get rid of all this nastiness. So somebody like nailed these to the ceiling. This house was built in the 60s, so they were creative, and screws weren't as prevalent. So you got the old flathead screw holding that up. This is nailed up, and then that's nailed to that board, and then this 2x6, God knows how it's into the wall. So I'm probably gonna rip this whole 2x6 down, take all these pieces off, cut it, and then I'm just gonna get some nice angle iron just to support the ends, just so that way there's less mass hovering over top. And then also this is funky. So they just took some 2x4s and a handful of nails and went to town. So I'm gonna get the right spacing on that. I have some plywood that I'll cut maybe to size, paint it so it's nice and clean. And we'll get rid of this old garage door opener too, because she's seen better days. So this is the hardware box that it came with. We have a set of cables. Cool part about this is it's all stamped ears and everything just like snaps in. It's all keyhole. So, I don't know, it feels pretty decent gauge. Screws, cotter pins. Whole bunch of hardware, just mixed up. See, it has these tabs, and these tabs are typically the tensioners for the springs, and it's supposed to have a rotary spring on the top. It even has the pulleys. So, I don't know what they did, but I specifically bought this garage door to eliminate this, because I didn't want this nonsense. Granted, the Wayne Dalton rotary system isn't great, but at least it's on top of the garage door and not hanging. Probably gotta put this all back in the box and go through this, so that way nothing gets lost. But basically, we got all the rollers. This bag is open, just fine. But it looks like most of it's here. I don't know what that hardware's for. We'll look through it. Put everything back in the box, keep it together. Once again, I got the springs, which I didn't want, so whatever, we'll see. These look decent, and they should have my name on them. Yeah, they have my name on them. So, it's cool. Alright, so far so good. So box number one, or the smaller box, has the lower unit with the weather stripping and 2 panels. Should be 4 panels total. So I'm gonna open up this other box. And same difference. So 1, 2, 3 panels. 3 panels in the one box, 2 in the other. All the hardware's in the box. So, looks like it's all here. Okay, got all my parts laid out. So, all my brackets, started separating some nuts and bolts that came in the same bag. I spoke to Lowe's about the issue with the springs. So this unit's supposed to come with the Torque Master Plus torsion bar system. It came with standard pulleys and springs, which is fine, but it's not what I ordered, and it's not what it was supposed to come with. So I spoke to Lowe's, gave them hell about that, and the fact that this thing took 12 weeks to get here rather than 8. So they gave me a $100 gift card. So ran to Lowe's, got some screws, some hardware, picked up some slotted angle iron for mounting everything. So, and my weather stripping. So three strips, they're 9 feet long. So once I finish the door up, I'll put these up and it'll seal everything up. And that's about it. So I'm gonna start demo now. Rip this all out. Start with the old lift, and then I'll take out the upper arms, take out this 2x6, get rid of all the wood, probably that landing post up there where they nailed a bunch of 2x4s up, because that's kind of nonsense. I'm gonna get rid of that. And I'll start taking this door down and start prepping for the new. This unit's dated January 2003. We're into 2025, so not a bad run. next I'm gonna take down these uppers. They connect right there. And the seam is right below that upper roller. So I'm gonna send a screw into the top of the door just to hold it up. And then I'll take off these upper rails on both sides. And then I pull the screw out, unbolt the door, start separating the sections. And then that'll free up everything else. Okay, got this all cleaned up, painted up, put a piece of plywood up there. I may have to space it off, but we'll play with it. That's where the lift is gonna mount. Peeled off, there was a 3/4 quarter round all the way around. So I peeled that off, cleaned it up, pulled all the nails out, painted it. So that's all prepped, gonna let the paint dry. I'm gonna work on pulling all this down, getting rid of this 2x6, the rest of all these mounts, cleaning it up, and then by that time the paint will be dry and then I can start hanging this door. So I got my first section in. I put 3/4 ply underneath the ends just to keep them off the ground so that way they're even. Basically just put the rollers in the first section, got them generally pretty level, and just put temporary screws in. So there's only 4 points of attachment right now, just for the uprights. So I'm gonna get all sections of the door in, screwed in together, and then I'll work on the upper sections. Okay, second section on. I just basically brought it down. I only put in 2 screws, so I line them up, or 4 screws, 2 on each side, just where the hinges are, and they have this little bit of steel. It seems like I'm missing some parts, so I'm just gonna use what I have, and I'll see where I end up with screws and hardware and everything else, and then I'll send everything else home. But for now, so far so good. So I'm gonna get the rest of the sections on, and then double check that everything's aligned, align the sides, get them perfect, and then I'll start fiddling with the top. So I bolted all this up. This has the keyhole slots for a different model, and then it comes with these 2-hole bolt units that go in the keyhole slots. So actually not bad. Got that aligned. Just put a temporary bolt up there that I had, and then ran this across. I just measured off the wall, so I'm 14 inches to the back side of the track to the wall. So I'm just using that as a square for now. I made that a little bit longer. I'm bolted at the 14-inch mark, so straight drop off the ceiling is pretty much in line with that, but it's gonna have to get aligned. So it'll get a cross brace, but that's up for now, temporary, because everything has to get leveled and played with. So this whole side of track is done. I'm gonna put in this side of track. I have to move my little rack that I have here because it's in line and in the way, but I'll redesign that in the future. It's not a big deal. But that's the next thing. I'll get that out of the way. I'll put another piece of track up. We'll get that aligned, get this upper track in place, and then we'll be ready for the upper section of the door, because the upper section of the door, the top roller sits in the arch. So you can't put the top half of the door on until this piece is in, locked in, and ready to go. So I'm gonna do that now. All right, got track number 2 in, just clamped up. Just have that set like that. That side's in, all bolted up. I got a temporary bolt up top just holding it, because I still gotta put the pulley in and whatnot, but I'm gonna get this upper section in, make sure everything's aligned. So now that this is all tight, I'm gonna put this upper section in. So I have the brackets mounted, and then it gets dropped into place, dropped in, and then you add the wheels. So I'm gonna do that now. and the wheels will hold it in, and then I can put the hinges on and everything else. Okay, now that the door's up, I'm gonna sink all the rest of the screws. There's only like 2 on each hinge going up, and all the ones for the bracket for the lift. So I'm gonna put them in now. That's the bracket for the lift, goes over the top. It's got 2 holes on the far side. So when I lift it up, I'll zip them in. Should have probably put it on beforehand, but whatever, it's here. All right, so I leveled this, leveled that, got that hole drilled, got that straight. The only thing I'm missing is my cross braces. So I got my first spring up, just with the guide wire, but I think I'm gonna lift this door, I'm gonna lock it in the upright position, because everything's a little cattywampus. So I'm gonna get it up, get it straight, get this one aligned with the wall, and then get that one aligned and see where we end up. I'd like to be square off the wall, because this room is square for the most part. And then I'll bring this track in or out according to this track. So, and then it'll be a lot easier to do all the spring stuff without these shifting. Because then if I set up the springs and I get the tensions right, this is gonna end up moving. It's not gonna move a lot, but it's gonna shift it. So I wanna get my crosses in, or my triangle pieces, just to get it locked in. And then it's just a matter of getting the springs straightened out. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, got these stabilized. So I just got this one, I measured off the wall, got this one level, straight up and down, locked in, and then got this one level, and it was pretty much perfect. When I put these up originally, what I did was I referenced this one off the wall, then I measured the distance between the 2 tracks there, and then just transposed it up here. So I measured, once that one was locked in where it needed to be, I measured off of that, got my distance, and that's how I did my drop. So it was pretty much aligned from the get-go. It was just a matter of getting them locked in. But I raised and lowered the door, everything works well, so we're pretty much done with the track. Now it's just a matter of getting these springs in and getting the weight right, so it goes up and down easily. So the guides, this is the guide cable, this is the backer and the stop, so this goes up on the tail end, and the loop comes through, and then this goes through the spring to support it so that way it doesn't flop. But this is how it's supposed to be tied, but it's a little bit of a pain because when it's not tight, it wants to come loose. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I did the other one already, but I'm gonna hold it tight, and I'm gonna give it a couple wraps of electrical tape just so that way it stays. Once there's tension on it, it's not going anywhere, but while I'm fiddling with it, it's gonna fall. So. And there's the loop for the spring, and there's my taped up backer. So once there's tension on that, it won't go anywhere, but that's where we're standing right now. So, slide my spring on. I already have my spring on, spring set up with my pulley. So this will go to the spring. Okay, I have both my springs lined up tight on their guide wire. That one as well on its guide wire, ready to go. So now I'm gonna lift the door up. I'm gonna wrap both springs. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of tension on it, and then I'll lower the door and then see if I gotta tighten it up, but one step at a time. So I'm gonna lift the door up and get those wires hooked up.
Okay, next I'm going to set up this opener. So this is the Genie belt drive extension kit. So I have an 8-foot door. Part number EKTB or 39026R. You need this for an 8-foot door. So this should come with another section of, yeah, there you go. Okay, so it comes with a longer belt and another section of arm. So there's your difference, extra 12 inches. So this one gets discarded, doesn't get used. It's the original. This is the one that gets used, the extension kit. So I got this thing built. It's pretty much ready to be hung. So the instructions say basically you roll the door up until you find the highest point that point comes to, and then you add 2.5 inches, and that's the center line of where the little knuckle goes for the end of the lift. So I'm gonna get on the ladder, I'm gonna lift this door up, I'm gonna find that point with my level. Spot right there. I'm going to go 2.5 inches above that. So, go 2.5 inches off of that point, right there. Run a level, get my holes. There we go. That's my center line right there. I'm by myself, so I got this precariously perched on a broomstick on the ladder. So once I pick up the door and get it kind of aligned, get it straight, I can rest it on the top of the door. That's how it actually tells you to do it in the instructions. But they say have a friend hold it, so that's my friend. Okay, all mounted. It fell in the middle of a beam, so the beams run this way. So these are 16 inches and change. So I shot a screw into this beam, shot 2 screws in that beam, and then just used the stuff that it came with. It only came with 2 bolts. These are all mine, but got these in and got a cross brace in there to keep it from moving left to right. So it's rock solid. A lot cleaner than I had it before. And now because it's the proper length, it actually sits higher than the old one did, so more out of the way, which is quite nice. So, yeah, finished product. Nothing too crazy, just lined everything up, got it level, screwed it in. The angle iron that it comes with is a little dinky, so I wish I had more of the good stuff, but it's fine. It's not really doing a whole lot, it's just holding it up. All the pressure is in the bar, pushing back that direction. So I'm gonna put this bar on and then start configuring this thing. Okay, so lift bar. The pin the door comes with is a little small for my liking, so I put washers on it. Just keep it all happy. I don't love that, but whatever. It's fine. It's sufficient. Okay, there's our hitch pin. Disengage that guy. All right. All right, gonna use the Johnson angle finder. Get this thing at 25 degrees, or close to it. They say no more than 30, so what we're gonna do. So if that's 0, that's, so 60, we wanna be at 60 degrees max. So that's 60. Mount it right there. 65 is 25 off of 90. So, we're at 65 right there. I don't know why that was so difficult, but we're at 65 because it's referenced from here. It should be referenced from the ground, but whatever. All right, got this thing finalized. It's pretty much finished up. Got all the wiring done up top. Got my covers on. Got my outlet in the ceiling. I gotta put a cover on that. Those are the safety sensors. What I ended up doing was just mounting them there. They're kind of foolish, so I always end up kicking them. Yeah, they're a safety device, but the unit itself has force settings, and if you hit something with the door opens back up again. So if I'm getting caught in the door, I got bigger problems. So for now, that's where they're gonna live. They'll always work. Nothing breaks the beam. So they're wired locally, pointing at each other. You can't jump them out because they specifically make it so that way you can't just jump it out. They have to be pointing at each other. So that's what we got. That other wire is 16.4, feeds my local in the garage controller. So just comes from behind. It's just a little spacer that I made a while back. So that's done. It's just 2 wires. Those 2 wires get landed in the side. There's 4 points. 2 are for the inside controller. 2 are for the safety sensors. So those are wired up. Finished up. This is all connected. She works. And all my cables, I cleaned them up. So they're all zip tied, taped off, coiled, so they don't get caught on anything. And that's pretty much it. So it works great. It's relatively quiet. This is the belt drive system. I got it so that it opens like when it's all the way up, it's like 3 inches above the threshold. So I never, with the old door, it always hung down almost like 10 inches. So I lost a lot of space. This is a full 8x8 opening, and my truck is right on the edge. I think it's like 7'9" in height. So yeah, works really good. Came out really nice. I have these mounted not all the way at the end, and the back roller comes probably 6 inches ahead of that bolt. So I think I'm gonna cut these just so that way I don't have this hanging off. It's just less floating around. Not necessary, but I'm on ladders and stuff all the time, and it'll just look cleaner. I don't want to hit my head on them, and it's gonna look a lot cleaner if I cut them. So I think I'm just gonna trim them real quick. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So got the weather stripping on the outside. We'll look at that in a minute. Just got three strips. They come 9-foot lengths. So it's just the PVC trim with the flap. So just put it on the sides and the top, and we're good and sealed up. So I'm gonna cut these off now, just so that way it looks cleaner. And I'm in the mode, so I'll just do it. And then we'll run this thing up and down a couple times, and that'll be it. All finished up. Oh, nice and clean. Got rid of all the edges and all the corners because I will cut myself. Not pretty nice, and it takes up a lot less space. Looks good and clean. All finished up, cleaned up, and this project is done. I'm gonna put a cover on that at some point. I gotta get one, but aside from that, and I gotta close up that hole. But that was where an old light fixture was. But yeah, all finished up. So we got our Genie model 3053. It's got the Wi-Fi link, so you can do it from your phone with an app. It's a 3/4 horsepower belt drive garage lift. And what's pretty cool is it actually slows down when it comes to a stop. So it doesn't just run and stop hard. It actually ramps up and ramps down. I'll open it in a minute and run it through its paces, but got everything connected here, nice and tight. It's got this cool little tensioner unit that is also the catch for the door lift, so pretty neat design. The door itself, very happy with it. It could probably be thicker. I forget what it is. I think it's R9.5, but it's got this channel, so like it has this lip top and bottom. I could actually put an inch of foam in here, and then this is steel, so I can actually, I was thinking about strapping. So like putting in a piece all the way across, maybe I'll spray it white of 1-inch foam, and then do like aluminum straps with a zip screw every so often, maybe one on the end, one here, so 5 across. I don't know, but we'll see how it is. The biggest thing was it was drafty earlier to begin with, so I put weather stripping all the way around, just the common weather stripping. I did the sides first, and then I put the top in between the sides, and I trimmed it on a 45 so it nestles really nicely and creates a nice seal all the way around. Not worried about water because I got probably, it's offset, it's backset a little bit, but it's more for just the draft. The bottom is a little funky, not because of the door, but because of my garage. So the actual edge of the garage ends right there, right before the seal. So I'm actually probably gonna dig that out deep and pour a lip in there, or just pour another section of garage concrete. We'll get there, we'll see. I want to make it like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch below the grade of this, so that way if there is any water that wants to come, it won't come inside. But the driveway slopes away from the house, so I'm not too worried about water, but if I'm going to be doing it, I may as well, so we'll see. As for the pulley system, pretty basic. Works pretty damn well. It has the guide wire, which is nice, that runs through the spring, so that keeps the spring from dropping or getting weird and slack when the door is up. It's got the pulley with a ball bearing there, and then the pulley on the end of the spring. And I just zip tied up the excess cable, anything that could possibly fray, I taped with electrical tape, just because I'll be reaching up there and I'm always doing things. So that's part of the reason I trimmed the excess off of the rail system, and I cut all these pieces of angle iron at an angle, hit them with the flap disc on the grinder, and just polished them up a little bit, because I'm always doing something and I will cut myself. If there's an opportunity for me to cut myself, I will. I wasn't in love with the hardware that it came with. It was a little funky. So I had bought a 50 pack of just 5/16, 18 standard thread bolts, 1 inch long. I bought a whole box. I bought a box of 50 bolts, 100 washers, and 100 nylock nuts, because there's so much vibration on this. A lot of these, it didn't come with washers for most of the hardware, so I just did everything with nylock, so it'll never be a problem. These bolts here, these ones are flanged and they lock, but some of the hardware that I came with for those, even those pulleys didn't have, like, it's just a pulley end.
the threaded 3/8/16 end. It didn't come with any washers or anything, so I ended up Loctiting them. Just red Loctite so that way they don't come loose, but it's kind of foolish. I don't know. It's like they thought through all these little weird keyhole connections and all the geometry and everything else, but then they kind of skimp with other things. So I don't know, but you know, you make it what it is. But not bad. All said and done, I got rid of that stupid 2x6. I cleaned this up. This came out really nice. That angle bracket on there that I used just to triangulate it, that thing is rock solid. I mean, it doesn't move at all. The old one used to sway, so it came a long way. And just cleaned up the whole ceiling. So I'm gonna end up taping and spackling that hole there because I have my attic access. I have some other little odds and ends, and then I'll paint things up. I even have that hole over there that needs to be buttoned up. And then these 2x4s, I'll probably go around and caulk and try to seal this place up the best I can. But yeah, it's a long way. So I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna bring it up and down a couple times, and that'll be that. Let's see the actual speed of this thing in action. And that's that. So this will be great for the winter. The extra added insulation will be great. The old one there was nothing to it, so it had 0 R value aside from just keeping cold air out. But this is a big step, and it really just escalated because I wanted to get a new opener, and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to do the opener if I don't do the door. And then I was going to seal up the old door, but then I would have had to rip it off to do this again. So it was like, let's just do it all in one shot. So all said and done, door came from Lowe's. It was supposed to be here in 8 weeks. It took 12. I got a $100 gift card back because I called them and complained. And I also complained about the springs not being right. So these are the standard style springs, but the advertised product on Lowe's.com has the Torque Master torsion system. I'm actually glad that it came with these because this is a very simple system. You can get parts anywhere. That Torque Master thing it's proprietary. It's a homeowner special. So it's got like plastic sheaves for the cable, and then there's like a crank on the side. The whole idea is so that way people don't have it, like the true torsion system is pretty dangerous. It's not that dangerous, but the average homeowner is gonna hurt themselves with it. So they came up with this system, I guess, to make it simpler, but in doing so, they made it more complicated and added more parts, and it's just something else to fail. And then you can't just go to any garage door place and get parts for it. You can't just buy a pulley. These pulleys are pretty standard, which is great. You can get them anywhere. With that system, you're kind of stuck with that unless you have a problem with the Torque Master thing. You can actually rip it out and just put in a standard torsion bar. But this is good. This is perfect for me. These aren't in the way, and it's gonna be fine. So we're gonna leave it alone. And that's that. So that's it for this project. Move on to the next. Always something going on.